You're unbelievable.
You're very impressed with yourself, aren't you? I have my moments.
What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xbox Live? This is your boy, this is your man, this is the guy, Barney is God from MW3.com. Any event, before I bring you episode 6, I'm going to have to give a quick shout out to one of my hombres, one of my brothers in crime, Brian C. Reagan of Pirating Societies, his gamer tag. He runs iGamerDie's podcast radio show entitled iGod Nation. It's him, Brian C. Reagan, and it's also a couple of his cronies, some of his partners in crime. That's the site address. I'm also going to put a link in the description box. You can check them out. They already have 3 episodes, ranging from an hour to an hour and a half long of splendid funniness and comedy. They talk about gaming, they talk about general things, they talk about random things, but they make it funny and it's interesting. You should definitely, give them at least 15 minutes of your time. Give them the old 15-minute roundabout. I'll give you my time, and if you're funny, I'll stick with it. But definitely check them out. They deserve that much because they work very hard to produce these shows. And they're of high quality, so I definitely recommend them. Anyway, episode 6. New year, new crazy. What does this mean? What does this title mean, right? Well, the title is New Year, New Crazy because this hasn't, well, I'm sure it's been addressed, but, not to the point where people are like, holy shit, the magnitude of it and severity of my situation. I did not know it was this horrible and this bad. But 2012, coming up, personally, I'm not a believer. The only thing I fear about 2012 is people doing stupid shit like looting and raping and then nothing happens, and it's just awkward for everybody involved. But on the off chance that 2012 is perfectly credible and legitimate, and even though, the Mayan calendar ending, holy shit, they just forgot to make they didn't have 12 extra models to make another fucking year. But anyway, on the off chance that this end calendar thing is actually a doomsday thing, where hellfire and brimstone comes and the fucking demons and dead things slip through the cracks into the ground and grab your feet and bring you down and tickle you to death or make you listen to Lindsay Lohan until you fucking die. Something tragic happens and it's terrible. Think about this, it was, it's your last New Year's. It is your last opportunity to have a year and a little bit of time to make it fucking count. Alright? Now, the thing is, it's a new year. It's the last time, so just do something that's just fucking nuts. Something that you wouldn't normally do as an individual on this planet. You'd call an enemy, you'd be like, hey, how's it going? Let's go for some coffee. If they tell you to fuck off, who gives a shit? Because you weren't going to be their friend anyway, and that's why they're not currently in your life. But I would like to think with this prospect of 2012 happening and Doomsday being a very big possibility in the foreground, and, it affects everybody, that your enemy would be like, holy shit, I'm going to die anyways, why the fuck not, right? It doesn't even need to be something revelatory or this huge thing where you're making a bridge with a person that you really hate. It could be something small, like plant a fucking tree, and when 2012 doesn't happen, you'll be like, holy shit, planting that tree made me feel good when I did it, and now it's a year old, and holy shit, it's a win-win situation. Plant a fucking tree. And, if 2012 doesn't happen, another good thing is if you mend a bridge with an enemy, you've got another friend in the 2012-2013 campaign. So, it's an opportunity to make yourself as a better person, increase your connections, your networks, and make the planet a better place, as cliche as that sounds. But, even little things, or, things that you've always wanted to do but couldn't, like skydiving. Just so you know, I'm a licensed skydiver. It is fun as shit. It is one of the most addictive things to do. If you do it once, you're probably going to have to do it again. Do it. It's fucking amazing. But be sure that, the place that you're going to do it at has a lot of credibility and has a good reputation. Just because, again, it's the fucking last year. Who gives a shit? Just as long as they have a operational plane and, the people don't look like retards and have a basic working knowledge of how skydiving works, just fucking do it. Do that. And another thing, too, is I had a near death experience on a bike, a speed bike. I had a Honda CBR Blackbird edition, but yeah, I was driving, pretty fast. I didn't realize I was going pretty fast because I was a little tired, and I was going home, and it was a really windy road, and for some odd reason, and I think this worked against me, but the streetlights were out, like half of them were out, and half of them were like half dim or half on, so I couldn't really see shit when I was driving on my bike. But I hit a pothole, and I was going pretty fucking fast, and I didn't realize it till I hit the pothole, and I was gonna fucking hit some pavement, hit whatever, and you know how everyone's like, oh, your life flashes before your eyes before you die. It wasn't. I was coming out of the womb, and then I was like a shitty-nosed little kid going into junior high and then high school, and fucking where I am now, yeah, post-secondary education, yada yada yada. It wasn't like that, okay? When I was going into the fucking pavement and then into the wall, I'm like, holy shit, I am going to fucking die or need like band-aids on my boo-boos for the rest of my life. It was like that. It wasn't this huge epiphany-inducing moment where I'm like, oh my god, I've done so much, yada yada yada. No, it wasn't fucking like that. I was terrified. I was ready to shit my pants. I was ready to fucking like bite the dust, and if there's a god, hopefully he thinks I'm a good guy. But it was fucking bad, okay? So with this time left, knowing full well that when this wall of fire, whatever the fuck it is in 2012, comes at you and you're like, oh, I'm gonna die, knowing full well that you're not gonna have that wonderful moment, well, at least in my experience, but maybe in yours too, think about this being your collection of, happy memories. So if you've had like a fucking shitty life, make this year count. Do something new, do something crazy, improve yourself. Make this last year that moment stretched out, that millisecond where you're about to die and it's supposed to be like this all-inspiring moment. Make that into your year. Expand that millisecond of happiness into a year or so. Like, for instance, this last Christmas, I didn't advertise this, and, I really didn't. I was thinking myself and debating with myself whether or not to include it in this episode, but I didn't fucking want presents. And when people gave me presents, I asked if it was expensive. If it was expensive, I just, give it off to one of my family members, immediate family members, extended family members, or, one of my friends. If it was something that could be given as, like, a toy or something like that, like, a teddy bear, box of chocolates, etc., etc., I just gave it to Santa's Anonymous, right? Because, I spent my days at Student Legal Services. I know that I haven't mentioned what my background is, and I'm not going to in any of my episodes because I don't want to sound like a pretentious asshole. If you do want to know what I'm about, you can send me a message, ask me, where I'm from and what I'm doing, and, I'll let you know. Or add me to Twitter and send me a message there. But, yeah, I spent it at Student Legal Services and helped people because I wanted my last Christmas, if it was my last Christmas on Earth, and, holidays, to be that of giving, not taking. And, it's a shame that, I didn't realize this, a bunch of Christmases ago, just because, that's the spirit of Christmas. It's not about fucking taking, it's about fucking giving. And if it's the last time on Earth, then I really wanted to make it count. So that's it, just make things count this year. And if you're fucking depressed right now, if you're not happy with yourself, then there's something that you're doing, currently in your life that's just fucking wrong. You need to try something different, you need to try something new, and this is the fucking year to do it. This is literally, and a lot of people are like, you really gotta do it, you gotta buck up and fucking pull up your shorts and fucking do it. This is the year that you have to fucking, because there's potentially this black cloud. This is gonna fucking consume everything, and it's gonna be game over, right? So make it count, all right? Make it fucking count. And that's it for this episode. I know it was call to action, I was yelling at you, but I love you all, and that's why I'm yelling, because I want to emphasize the point that, hey, this could be the last fucking year on Earth, so make it count, alright? Love you all. This is Barney is God from iGamerDie.com. Again, check out Brian C. Reagan, my friend of Pioneering Society's I God Nation podcast. He does a very good job with his friends. And this is my contact information coming up in a bit. Definitely add me to Twitter if you like this. Think about subscribing, liking it, sharing it with a friend. But if you don't, you know, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, fuck you. Anyway, have a good day. Make good decisions. Bye-bye.